In this video, I'm going to show you guys how we're going to plant some beautiful carnivorous plants on this very interesting pot that we got from Vertplanter. Now, about a month and a half ago, Vertplanter sent me this product of theirs, and it is actually a ceramic type of pot with a hole in the middle, and the whole point of it is that you fill up this hole in the middle with some water and it slowly seeps out of the pot and obviously waters your plants. Now, I have seen someone actually use this for carnivorous plants before. They used drosera adelaide, and I want to copy the same type of setup but actually record it and document it for you guys so you guys can follow along. I will put a link to their guide in the description of this video, and I also do have an affiliate link for this product if you guys want to try it out for yourself. If you guys want to help with the channel at the same time, please use the link. But this means that we have to get some plants, and I did order some plants. Let me show them to you. And it is also raining, so we need to get inside. So I don't have any drosera adelaide, so I contacted Tim's Exotics and he helped me out with a whole bunch of drosera adelaide and drosera andromeda. And another update for you guys.
Oi, wakey.
Karen's much better.
Yeah.
She's out of hospital now, but she's gonna go back 2 more times in the next couple weeks. But I ordered these plants from Tim's Exotics and he sent them, they got you in a day, which is crazy for me. So like I said, I'm a little bit unprepared for the video. I wasn't expecting them to come this quick. But let's open this up and I'll show you guys the plants that we have. So let's take a look at the plants. That's pretty cool. So here's our drosera adelaide. It's about a whole bunch of them. And vacuum sealed. And this must be our drosera andromeda. Kind of looks like prolifera. Very cool. But obviously, what is the point of having plants if we can't pot them up yet? So we need some soil for them, and the soil is pretty specific. So first step, we need to get some moss from the pavement outside. Let's go. Because we live in England, there's moss everywhere. Let's see if we can dig this out. This is moss, right? The reason why we're using pavement moss, I'm pretty sure, is because if we use something like sphagnum moss, it will grow pretty big and will grow over our plant and strangle them out. So we've got our moss now over here, and I'm literally just going to clean all of the dirt off of it, because there's dirt and little rocks that the moss has obviously grown into. And then we'll mix it in with our peat and create a nice paste that we can hopefully pour over the planter. Now that we have our paste ready, I'm going to fill up this Vertplanter with a bit of water and see how the water slowly comes out of all the little pores that is in the ceramic. It should be a pretty cool time lapse. As you guys can see, it kind of started from the top and slowly went down, and it does feel damp and cold, so it'll be very, very interesting to see how these plants do. So our next step is to take this sludge or paste and smush it into all of the little crevices in our planter. Now there's a little bit too much water in our paste, so if we squeeze out all the extra, it might be a bit easier to work with. I don't know if I've done this right, guys, but hey, let's give it a try. So actually putting the moss in, it is quite strange. It doesn't feel like it's meant to go in, and obviously if you just put it on, it doesn't stick. But if you really do push them into the little cones or little pieces there, it does stay. So I'm gonna just try and fill up one side of this planter and hopefully nothing falls out. Now we do have thread over here, which I will use later on just to secure it all into place. But for now, we just need to give the plants a little bit of a base to sit on. We kind of have a little patch there, and it does feel very, I don't know what the right word is, but it feels like it's going to fall off very easily. So I am going to try get a plant out and put this plant into this moss and then wrap it in, okay? So I've got one of the little adelays out of the packaging, and I am going to try and wrap this around in the moss here, and I really don't know how exactly I'm going to do this. I've never ever wrapped anything with thread before. So he did say, put it on, and then he smushed the roots in with more of his paste. That looks alright. I'm gonna put some thread on there before it falls off. I guess that worked. I will just continue potting up some moss or mixture around these roots, and I will keep adding in all the different plants, guys. Wish me luck. Now that it has stopped raining, I have brought the planter outside because it has better lighting, and I'm going to put the drosera and dromeda on the other side of the pot. I want to compare the growth of the two plants separately from each other. So let's get it open and start putting the moss on. And now that we have our drosera and dromeda on, I want to spray everything down with the spray bottle because it's taking a little bit of time to actually get all the water to absorb into the pot, and I want the plants to not dry out. So that's the only reason why. And now let's get back to the topic of this plant here. This is drosera and dromeda, and it actually has quite a little bit of a frustrating growth habit. Let me tell you guys about it. Now, drosera and dromeda is one of the 3 Australian sisters, as they're called, but there's now like 4 or 5. Anyway, they all grow in very shady, under canopy like forest floors. That means that they love to be very shady, and they love to be very humid and pretty warm too. How are we going to do this when we're in cold England? Well, like I told you guys, I wanted to get a greenhouse, but until that happens, I've got this. It's a 20-liter bottle with a lid, and I cut the base off, and I'm going to be putting this on top of the plant and keeping the plant inside the house at a north-facing windowsill so that it gets a lot of bright light, but it gets diffused through the glass and then through this a second time. Hopefully this will keep them nice and warm, humid, and just bright enough for their liking. So if you guys want to see how they go, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any future update videos. And remember, plants take a while to grow, so update videos take a while to come out. Now let me go show you guys where I'm going to put these plants, and let's put this thing on and see how they react. Now inside this bucket, I have also put a lux meter and also a hygrometer and temperature gauge, just so that I can track how humid, how warm, and how bright it is inside of here. And if it isn't perfect for the plants, I will be moving these things, changing the setup, moving the plant somewhere else until we find the perfect spot. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video so far. If you have, please remember to leave a like and comment in the description below if you think that the plants will end up making it. And of course, like I said, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on their update videos. However, I have to film inside right now because it's actually raining outside. So I'm going to show you guys the plants really quick. Every single morning they get about 3 to 4 hours of pretty good bright sunlight. The humidity stays pretty high, but when it gets really warm in the morning, the humidity does drop a bit. So I do spray the inside of the bottle with the spray bottles to try and elevate that humidity while they get used to their new environment. So let me just show you guys them real quick. So here are the drosera Adelaide. You can see they've started forming their dew again, but these two guys at the top aren't looking the best. And the drosera Andromeda, that's around the back here, looks pretty much the same. Now, these guys, I know they're a bit slower, but I'm very, very scared or worried that I end up killing these plants. I hate killing my plants, but as far as it looks right now, the plants don't look like they're regressing too much. The signs that these guys are putting out dew, that's a very, very good sign. It's a very good start for these ones. But until these guys start forming dew or unraveling this leaf here, for example, I can't tell if this guy's too happy just yet. So hopefully in a few more weeks, we'll know exactly how they're doing. Next week, we are going to be repotting all of our darling Tonias. I've had these guys for about a month or 2 months now, and they need a repot because they don't have enough soil in their pots. I know, it's tragic, right? So we will be taking them out, giving you guys a nice update on them. They're growing super well at the moment, and we'll be putting them into new pots, and I'll teach you guys a little bit more about their care. So until that video, I'll see you then.